Hello everyone. So following up with the last video for this poster design activity, we have learned how to create this earth element and how to basically trace out a shape of an animal using a raster image. So this is how I have created remaining of the elements, I mean the animal silhouettes, and I have added a tiny bit of detail so that this might look more appealing instead of having a simple black colored cutout. So I want to place the animals on earth like this. Okay, so we are going to follow the same technique like we trace this bear silhouette using a reference image. You need to use another images for different animals, and similarly you can trace out the animal shape using the pen tool. Alright, after this let's focus on other elements. So after this, on this poster, what I want to do is I want to create some lines. So for which I'm going to go to the line tool and I'm going to draw a line like this. Okay, we can increase its thickness so that it should look like a bold line. Alright, so there we have the line and we can definitely change its color and everything. But what I want to do here is that I want to stylize this line as well. Maybe there is a way, let's see. So we need to select a line, and if we want to stylize it, so what we can do is we can go to the borders, and into the borders we have this option advanced border settings. If I'll click on this, it opens up this small menu in which I have different options. So you can see that the ends of the line I can convert. By default it's set at square. I can make it rounded, I can make it but like this. All right, just ending at the node. So, and joints also, if it has any joints, it might look more it might be more clear to us if we have a shape, either a triangle or a square. So then the joints we also might change like that. So we don't need to change this as of now because see, it's a 2-point line only. There are no joints or ends. I want to keep it like that. What we need to focus on is this dash and gaps. By this, what I want to do here is that I want to give a dotted line effect. So let's see how can we do with that. So it's a straight line. If I give some value in dash, let's say, so here you can see that it has created some dashes. In between the dash, if I want to create some gap, let's say, for which I will give the value. So you see, accordingly, it will change the line. All right. Now this, you can see that there are two parameters for dash and gap. That is because this is for start and end. So for the end also, I mean, the values are not, very much relevant, but it actually make the change. So see, and with the dash also. So I mean, it's really up to you that, you need to play with these values, and then you need to find the perfect value spot where the effect of the line is looking good to you. All right, so for me, I want to keep it maybe like this. All right, to me it is looking good enough. It is a very different kind of two dotted line effect. So I want to keep it like that. Again, I'm telling you that you need to check for these values which value work best for the particular line effect. Then you can stop here. Okay, it's not necessarily that with the length of this much line, because these values, the thickness of the border, all these things are in correlation. That's why for the parameters we need to keep on checking the different values. All right, so I am satisfied with this sort of result. So I'm going to keep the line over here like this. And now on the overall poster, I'm going to create more lines. So what I'm going to do is I will take line tool again and create the line 1 over here like this. And actually, if you notice, so the overall look I want to give to the poster is that, as if it has been doodled or illustrated. This point we can keep a bit over here. Okay. So this kind of effect I want to give to my poster, maybe this one like this, better. Alright, maybe we can move all the elements inside these outlines a bit away so that it should not be colliding, the giraffe silhouette should not be colliding with the outlines. Alright, looking good enough. Moving on, the next element I want to create here is that uh, something to cover these corner points, for which I am going to choose a planet shape. Now again, that as I've explained earlier, I want to give a illustrated or doodle effect for the design of this poster. What I'm going to do is I can take pen tool, or I can draw a rough planet shape like this. All right. And then with the sub select tool, we can modify it accordingly. Like this. There is no need of outline, so I am removing the border. Color I am going to add, let's say, yellowish color tone I have added, maybe a bit dull tone, something like that. Okay. Now I'm going to copy this and I'm going to reduce its size. And for this, I'm going to choose maybe a brighter tone, or maybe an entire color. Something like this. If we'll zoom out, so it will look like this. So I'm trying to create a planet shape, okay, a doodle planet shape, which has some highlight of the light, or maybe here it is casting a dark tone or shadow. Before that, let's organize our layers panel as well. So I'm going to select all the line, select this, Control G, and we will call it dotted lines. So here we have created the group, and after that we are trying to create some planet looking shape on each corner point. So there is the one first. Let's move ahead, and for this I'm not going to use the pen tool. Maybe I can work with the ellipse. So I'm going to create an ellipse like this, a random ellipse, and I'm going to convert this to the path so that with the sub select tool I can modify its nodes. And change its color. Select this with the pointer tool this time, copy and paste one shape over here. And for this, maybe we can choose color like this. So I'm just taking a very random sort of selection. I'm not bothered about the exact color scheme or so. I really want to give a doodle kind of effect. One more thing we can do here to avoid any mishaps is that we should lock all the elements which are not in use currently, so that by mistake we don't touch it. All right, this is done. This element has also been made. All right, let's come back to this node, and we were working here. So I'm going to create an ellipse like this, then obviously right click, convert to path. And we all know that sometimes Gravit gives this issue that we might not able to right click properly. So how to choose this option, convert to path? We need to select the shape and we need to go to modify, and then into the path we have this option. Or you can use this shortcut as well, Control or Command Shift P. After that, let's move with the sub select tool and let's modify the shape in a random style. All right, so this is how I have covered the corner points with some planetary looking shapes. Select these two and you can adjust the size if you feel like, if it is looking small. All right. So the next element which I want to put on this poster is a doodled star. So for that also I'm going to take pen tool only and I am going to create 5-point star shape like this. We have star here also. It's completely your choice, but see, I am keeping the design sense of the theme as if it has been illustrated or doodled. So that's why I am creating this sort of uneven type of shapes. So we need to really close it and fill. I can turn it off here this time. Border maybe I can increase. 1 second. Around 3 would be good enough. Select 3 and color we can choose a dark brownish color tone. Alright, this is looking good enough. We can scale it down and we can place it wherever we want to. But before that, let's do one more thing. Let's select all the planets which we have drawn, leaving the last one, and we can control G and call it planets just to keep our layers panel organized. All right, and make sure that only planets are in the group. Perfect. Now let's lock this up and let's work on the stars now. So first one is done. Now after this, I mean really what I can do is I can simply copy and paste these stars and with the sub select tool, I'm going to modify these. All right, so that's about it. I think this way, maybe these stars are, we need to change the placement because seems a bit cluttered. This one obviously needs to be scaled down. All right, so that's about it for the stars. Now let's come to the last thing, which is delivering the information. So for that, what I'm going to use is the text tool to add the text. And basically this poster is to create awareness about the wildlife. So basically, it's a poster for a documentary or a movie, you can say. All right. So for which, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the text tool, and but before that, let's organize our layers panel, and I'm going to select all the elements, and let's group it. Control G, and we are going to call it stars. Perfect. Let's lock this up, and onto which finally we are going to add the information. So with the text tool, what we are going to do is we are going to simply click and we can type our text, but the thing which we should be careful of not to do is that click and draw a text box like this, because this really confines the space of your text box. So whatever you are typing, it is like, being typed there, but because the text box only is this much, that's why it's not visible. So I don't want to keep it like this. So I'm going to just click to insert the text and I'm going to type and simply just copy the text only, Control C and Control V, because everything, the styles, the size, the color, everything will change at the end. First of all, let's add the information. So this is the main title. So we'll add other information like when the movie is going to be premiered or so date, venue, something like that. And let's make some space over here because I'm going to add tiny bit of details. All right. So this is all the information which I want to deliver through the poster. Now let's work on the text. Let's arrange and organize this. So to change the style of the text, we have this appearance over here from which we can change its color, its font style, its size and everything. So let's change the font. So this is looking good enough, and the color I'm going to keep a dark brownish color having a tiny bit of red hue. This is looking good enough. Then this is the title, so obviously for this the size is going to be very much larger. So select this, and first we'll define its style. It should be a bold, not this. All right, this is looking good. And the color, I am going to choose the same color I have taken for this. So I'm going to copy the color code, and onto the text I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to increase its size obviously. And place it for the top, place it on the top for the time being. All right, for this also I'm going to definitely change the style. Underline this also if you want to. And for these information, I mean, this much size is absolutely not relevant. So I'm going to reduce their size, place it. How much size is for the date? It's around 12. So same for venue as well. All right. Now if I'll focus, so let's do the arrangement. So what I need to do is I need to align these properly into the center, which we can simply do by selecting all the text at once. And then we can go to the modify, align, and there we have options: align left, center, right, top, middle, bottom. So we will going to choose align center, and there you go. From the center, all the text has been aligned properly. Now here, I mean, it is looking a bit cluttered. So what we can do is we can select these two and we can bring them a bit on the bottom side, and these two a bit down so that it can has more space. And this line, what I can do is I think I need to change its font. This is all right. This is looking good to me. And then again, let's do one more thing. Align them into the center with each other. These ones I'm going to keep horizontally like this. So that's why I'm not choosing these into the selection. It's totally up to you. How do you want to arrange the text? So, okay, this is good enough. And now if I look at this, maybe I can increase the size of the title a bit more. So you really need to, change and then see. And with each change, we need to again do the alignment. All right, so I think this is how we can create the poster. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this activity. Thank you.